Hello, good morning, and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan, and it's time for our Gameweek 28 deadline stream. Yeah, we're back to the earlier in the morning streams, I guess, after a couple of weeks where it was a nicer, later deadline. Now, you guys know I don't like the mornings, but I've got a cup of tea today, which is hopefully going to see us through. And we're pretty much on time today, which is rare for me. Usually I'm late to these streams, but yeah, we've pulled it out of the bag, being on time today. So yeah, guys, hopefully you're okay. If there's any members in the chat, make yourself known so I can say good morning to you. I can see already Masood and Ramsey are here. Good morning to both of you. Good morning to everyone else as well. But I mean, gotta say good morning to the members. It's got to be done. Hopefully you guys are, near enough ready for the big double game week. Lucas is here. Good morning, my friend. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to go. I've made my transfers. I actually made my transfers last night. I did literally exactly what I said I was going to do in my team selection video. And I actually think I'm in a good position. A pretty good position. So I'm going to share that with you guys. The plan I made in the team selection video wasn't quite right. It wasn't quite right. But I fixed it. A lot of you guys said I should wildcard this game week. I'm not going to be wildcarding. And I know you said my team was screaming out for a wild card, but I think I fixed it without the need of a wild card, and I'm pretty happy about that. Edward, David, Luke, Adam, good morning, guys. Good morning. So, guys, let's have a look at my team first of all, because like I said, I made my transfers. We got ahead of the price changes as well. We got a couple of price changes because both Neto and Zabani went up in price, so I managed to grab both of those bad boys before the price changes, which is good stuff. We're going to do a bench list today, as always, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, this is my team. So, yes, like I say, Dubravka out, Senesi out, Neto and Zabani in. So, double Bournemouth defence coming in. Brave, I know, but such is the world that we live in. It is going to be a bit of fun. I'm reasonably happy with my team. I know some people are probably not going to like the fact that I'm starting a Stupinian. I don't particularly like it either, but I'm not going to take another -4 for another defender. I'm just going to accept my lot with it. When you got an injury or two in your team, sometimes you just don't have a choice. And that's the circumstance I found myself in. But yeah, I just don't think it's worth taking a hit for another defender. I think fair enough, taking a hit for a Bournemouth defender, I think is worth it. But I'm now tripled up on Bournemouth. There's no point in really taking any other hits to do anything. I'm not really sure what else I would do, to be honest. Like, who would you bring in this week? Some of you guys might say Doughty. Not really sure I'm seeing the upside to Doughty. Unless you're also looking to not free hit in Game Week 29. I am going to be free hitting in Game Week 29. So I don't think Doughty is worth it for a hit for me. So let's just see what Estefanian can produce. I think his chances of starting have increased after Thursday. Obviously, a bench appearance, 25 minutes played on Thursday. Lamptey played the whole 90. We know that Brighton do have some injury problems at the moment. So I think the chances of Estefanian starting today are actually reasonably good. So let's see what happens there. If he can get me a 2-pointer, I think that'd be good enough. And for defenders, 2 points is good enough. And the only other player you guys probably don't like in my team is probably De Bruyne. You say I probably need to have Son in there instead of De Bruyne. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if my team is 2 players away from being in a really nice position, I take that. Having 9 out of 11 players that you're super happy with, I think is certainly good enough. Doesn't really require a wild card if it's only 2 players, And yeah, well, I can actually afford, and I may as well show you guys now. I can actually afford, so we're free hits in Game Week 29, but in Game Week 30, I didn't think I could afford this, but I can. I can afford to do Haaland and De Bruyne, not Haaland, Watkins and De Bruyne out. I'm not sure if I'll do this or not. It might be Trippier instead of Watkins out. It'll be, well, basically, it'll be De Bruyne out for Salah, and then I need to pick one of Trippier or Watkins to remove after that. Right now, at this exact moment, assuming Trippier is fine for Game Week 30, because I do like Trippier's fixtures from Game Week 30, West Ham, Everton, Fulham, Spurs, and then a possible double game week in 34, which is quite nice. One of the more likely teams to have a double game week in 34. So I'm thinking about keeping Trippier and actually selling Watkins and bringing in Højlund, who I can afford. He's 7 million now. That leaves me 0.2 in the bank. He might even drop down a little bit lower by the time we get to Gameweek 30, which will be nice. But Hoyland's fixtures are okay. Brentford, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bournemouth, then a possible double with Newcastle and Sheffield United in 34, which I think is really nice. After that, we'll be looking to wildcard very shortly after. So yes, that's kind of what I'm thinking. At some point, I'd like to do He-Chan to Gordon. Probably going to have to fiddle around with some other things. Estupinian's probably going to have to be removed. It'll be nice to be able to keep Foden, because I think a lot of people maybe wildcarding now or wildcarding soon are actually going to remove Foden from their team. I actually think it might be quite nice to keep Foden. But anyway, that's just the rough plan. So it's going to be a hit this week, already done, and there'll be another hit in 30. And I think that sets me up nicely for the long term, which is what it's all about, really. Absolutely what it's all about. Get Salah back into my team, have all the players I want to have, and yeah, it'll just be a slow process after that, removing, the weeks after that, removing Estupinian and obviously Trippier as well. I'm not sure where I would go. Not Trippier, sorry, Estupinian and He-Chan. So yeah, not sure where I would go from there. I'd probably look to get double game week players. So if Newcastle and Man United double, then I'll possibly be looking at players from them. Like I say, Gordon I like. Ezre's another player I like for a potential double in 34. Defenders I'm not really sure about yet. I guess Man United would be a direction I could go. Could grab a Crystal Palace defender. Not sure. But the plan is in place. The plan is in place, and I'm happy with it, which is the most important thing. So I don't think I need a wild card. I think I'm in a better situation than maybe some of us initially thought. And I think we can roll through with this one. The strategy looks good. I can actually get to, using this strategy, with just one more hit, I can get to up to 8 double game week 34 players, which is a lot. And then it will be 15 double game week 37 players with the bench boost. And if there's any other doubles in 34 or 35, 35, 36, I'll be set up for them as well with the wild card. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm feeling confident in my strategy. I'm trusting the process, fully trusting the process with my team for now. Let's have a look in the chat. We've got a super chat from Edward who says, cost -8, Tony, Watkins, Morris to Solanke, no free hit 29. If you don't have a free hit in 29, I don't think I would do it, to be honest. I know that's controversial going into this game week without Solanke. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough watch today. It really, really is. But if you think about it, Solanke has 2 fixtures this game week, but none next week. But you could have Tony, Watkins, Morris all have fixtures next game week. So by taking a -4 to get Solanke this week, Edward, you're not actually gaining any fixtures, because Solanke and those other forwards you have the same amount of fixtures over the next 2 game weeks. You say you don't have a free hit for 29? I don't think it's worth it. Morris is a viable captain as well. So it's not like you don't have an alternative captain. Captain Morris this game week. And yeah, maybe give Solanke a miss. As it might actually take you a -8. You take a -4 this week, you take another -4 next week in order to reverse it. So, yeah, I don't think I'd do it. Stick with what you got. Jack says, triple captain Solanke. Your thoughts, Dan? You're running out of opportunities, my friend. I'll put it that way. In fact, I posted something on my Twitter page yesterday. Make sure you are following me on Twitter, by the way, at FPL Mate, if you use it. Yeah, I tweeted out this, which kind of, well, this is actually a graphic from yesterday's video. So, yeah, you can just watch the videos as well. But I do often post, like, little graphics and stuff on my Twitter page. And, yeah, this is what I posted. And it's kind of outlining the other opportunities for a triple captain. So, obviously, we have Game Week 28 for a triple captain. Solanke versus Sheffield United and Luton, which is obviously fantastic. And I think it's probably the standout here. But we know that Chelsea and Spurs have this kind of elusive double game week that has to happen at some point. If Chelsea get knocked out of the FA Cup to Leicester, which I don't think is super likely, but if that were to happen, then that probably goes into game week 34, the double game week. But if it doesn't, if Chelsea beat Leicester, then maybe Son and Palmer, double game week in 35 or 36. I don't mind it. I particularly don't mind Palmer in 36. Palmer in 36 versus West Ham and Spurs. Quite like that. If that were to if that were to happen, that would be pretty nice. So, yeah, yes, Solanke is the more obvious choice, I would say, but it's not the only option. So have a look at that. See if you fancy any of those others. If you're not planning on playing a chip in 37, I think that's you go there for your triple captain. But I think most of us are either playing a bench boost, most likely, maybe a free hit in 37 anyway, rather than going for a triple captain there. Edward says, yay, confirmation bias from Dan to justify my controversial opinion. Hey, I will give you some confirmation bias when I think it is warranted. And today I think you are, I think you're in a better position than you think you are. Because you've already got 3 starting strikers for Gameweek 29, which is 3 more than me. We'll put it that way. Ruben says, Ake, Foden, Haaland to Doughty, Bowen, Morris, -8 to save the free hit in 29. Do you have to do the Foden to Bowen move this week? You could just do Ake and Haaland out. I don't think you need to I think Foden this week could outscore Bowen. I know that's maybe, if we're looking at form over fixture, Foden should be better than Bowen this week, right? But then the fixture difference is quite significant, so I guess that's up to you. But yeah, the -8 that you're talking about, it's not too bad. If you're looking to free hit in 29, you want to remove those Man City players. Or you want to avoid free hitting in 29, want to remove the Man City players. I don't mind it. You just got to... certainly Ake to Doughty, I would 100% do that move. The other two are a little bit more controversial. I think the fact that you're gaining an extra fixture with Morris this game week might justify the Haaland to Morris move. Foden to Bowen, I am less keen on. Shaker says, on wildcard, should I get Elanga or Barkley or Tavernier? I would probably get... Out of those 3, I'd probably just go for Barkley and take the fixtures. But to be fair, Barkley is not a player you want to own long term. Yeah, we're talking about wildcards here, aren't we? Elanga and Tavernier have the better long-term fixture. I think they are easier longer-term holds. Barkley is cheap, though. He is benchable. Really tough decision. Should we have a look? Should we have a look at some predicted points between those 3 players? So you're looking for a midfielder, basically. Actually, let's refresh this. So you're looking for a midfielder who costs less than, 5.4 million or something like that. So for a game week range of 28, let's go 33. Elanga is actually coming up higher than Barkley and Tavernier by quite some distance, actually. So that does suggest that Elanga, according to the... whenever I get into a 3-way situation... I don't often get to a 3-way situation. My wife does not allow it. But whenever I find myself in a situation where I can't decide between players, I do often use this predicted points tool from Fantasy Football Hub as a bit of a guide. And if there is a standout player there, I will take its advice. And it looks like there is a standout player, and it is Elanga. I can understand why Elanga's underlying numbers are significantly better than Barkley and Tavernier. So although you don't get the double game week this week, like you would from a Barkley or a Tavernier, you do get a fixture next game week, which is against Luton, which is nice, and decent fixtures thereafter as well. I can't remember. Is Nottingham Forest likely to double, or are they done for doubles this season? Okay, they're done for doubles this season, so no more double game weeks for Forest, but presumably if you're wildcarding now, you're saving the free hit for 34. So that's not going to be an issue, and then potentially bench boosting in 37 there as well. So yeah, okay, I think that solves it, Ruben. I think I would be going for Elanga. I'm going to be going for Elanga as my pick. No, not Ruben. Who said that? Shaker. Shaker said that. Yeah, Shaker, I'll go for Elanga. Do you like this tool? Leo says, Dan, that I missed your super chat. Did I, Leo? I apologise if I did. How early was it? Was it very early in the stream? I can't see it anywhere. Unless it's like it's like later on my list. Let's just check this. No super chats, Leo. Not received one. I don't know if it maybe didn't go through. Gary says, would you captain Neto, Morris, or Haaland? I think I would captain Morris for the double game week. Yeah, let's say Morris. Penalties, 90-minute man. By far the biggest goal threat in the team. Yeah, Carlton Morris, I think I would captain out of those three, Gary. Luke says, how long are you planning on keeping the mustache? I don't know. Great use of a super chat, by the way. Or waste of money, depending on how you want to look at it. But, hey, I don't know. I don't know. The wife enjoys it, so I'm sticking it for now. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I'll keep it until I get into the top 100k, and then that would be like, or maybe like bribe you guys. I'm not shaving it off until I get 200,000 subscribers or something like that. But if I'm totally honest, I'm maybe getting a little bit tired of it, so I might we might get rid of it. We might get rid of it, and you guys don't like it either. So I mean. I guess it goes. Mark, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate that, my friend. Dave says, Richie to Barkley to bench Louise. No free hit in 29. Yeah, potentially. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. Yeah, Richarlison is going to be out in Gameweek 29. We pretty much know that by this point. It gives you an extra player. It's a -4 though. I don't know if I would do it from -4. I think that's the problem. Yeah, Dave, I don't think I would do it. I don't think I would do it. So I'm going to say no. Not for a -4. For 3, I would probably do it, but not for a -4, I don't think. Unless you're going to do it next game week anyway. If you're going to do it next game week anyway, then do it now. Leo says, sorry, but it was Foden or Rice. Foden, I would say. Foden's form is just nuts at the moment. Like, I've been looking at his numbers this week, and they're absolutely crazy. Excuse me, by the way, guys. I'm allergic to red arrows. So maybe that's the sign of things to come. Yeah, I was looking at Foden's numbers over the past, 5 or 6 game weeks. They are absolutely off the charts crazy. So let's go. Here we go. So past 5 game weeks, I believe that is. No, that's past 4 game weeks. Let's go 5. He's still right up there. So he's behind Haaland and Saka. That's it. But he's taken more shots than any other player in the Premier League. 32 shots as a midfielder is absolutely nuts. That is crazy. 5 game weeks, 32 shots. I appreciate he's played 6 games in that time. But he's got 6 goals. And he's also got 1.71 expected assists and not got an assist. He's actually underperforming on his assists. 14 key passes. He's up there. Like, Gross and Ødegaard have created more than him, technically. But to be first for shots and second for key passes as a midfielder is absolutely crazy. His numbers are unreal. So I'm definitely a big fan of playing in-form players no matter what their fixture is. So I'm definitely backing Foden this week. I wouldn't necessarily buy him. But, yeah, man, Foden is... he's the one. He's the one. Right, let's have a look at some of more of these super chats. So Vizzo says, Dubravka to Neto for a -8. Is it for a -8 or is it for an additional -4? If it's going to take you a -8 to shift around your team in order to get Neto in, then I wouldn't do it. If it's for a straight -4 in isolation, if we're just looking at it in isolation, Dubravka to Neto, -4, no other transfers needed to accommodate this move, I would consider it if you're in a situation like me, whereby your other goalkeeper is Kelleher, because Kelleher and Dubravka, we know neither of these goalkeepers are long-term options. I'm going to have to make a goalkeeper transfer at some point in the future anyway. I may as well get a good one now, who also has a chance of a double in 34, not free hitting in 29, so it's going to benefit me there, where I don't have to worry about my game at 29. So I think for a lot of people, if you've got Areola and Dubravka, I think the need to take a -4 to get Neto it's not there as much. But if you're free hitting in 29, you are looking to go into game week 34 without the use of any chips. well, there's potential. There is potential there to go for Neto. Even if you are a Dubravka Areola owner, still potential. Still potential. But yeah, I would say if you're free hitting in 29, I would lean towards it. If you have 2 goalkeepers that you hate, again, I would consider doing it for a -4 in isolation. That's my advice there. Christian says, worth taking a -4 to get a Bournemouth defender for Walker. Already got Neto and Solanke. Free hit next week. Keep up the great work. I love this community. Christian, I love this community as well. Thank you very much for your super chat. I think I would do it, yeah. I think I would do it. Because, you know, Walker is going to concede this weekend to Liverpool, isn't he? We know that already. So, you know, we're looking at if Liverpool managed to score a couple of goals against Man City, you definitely see that potentially happening. We're looking at a Walker 1 or 2 pointer. A Bournemouth defender needs just 1 clean sheet in the 2 games and already paid back your -4. Plus, you get another defender you might quite like for game week 30 as well. Because City play against Arsenal, and that's obviously not ideal. So I would, yeah. I would consider doing that, yeah. I think a -4 to sell a Man City defender for a Bournemouth defender. If you're free hitting in 29, I would strongly consider it. I would very strongly consider it. Viz says, hi Dan, thoughts on risky Adebayo and KDB to Solanke and Gordon/Erdegaard. Can't afford Son, 2 free transfers. Okay. Gordon is the long-term pick. So I don't mind that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say, yeah, Gordon or maybe Palmer might work as well. But yeah, Adebayo and KDB to Solanke and Gordon, I think is a good move in general. Yeah, kind of like it. So yeah, back in that one. In good form. And we've got a super chat here from Mark, who says, hi Dan, I have captaincy on Solanke, but strongly considering Morris. Worried about Solanke's game time. Thoughts? Loving your work and the Tash. Hey Mark, at least someone likes the Tash. Someone's got to like it, right? Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't worry too much about Solanke's game time. You can probably see right down there, is going across the bottom of the screen right now. Solanke trained normally yesterday, so he has trained, which is good news. It does suggest that he is going to be starting the game today. And if he's starting the game today, you know, we're looking at midweek before the next game comes along. He's probably going to be fine for then as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about Solanke's game time. I think he starts both games. I don't know if we'll get 90 minutes in both necessarily, but he should get close to. And I think with this double game week, Sheffield United and Luton Town, Solanke's numbers are actually better than Watkins as well. I may as well show you guys. So the numbers are favouring Solanke. So it is tight, but you can see here. Let's just so let's go on the player comparison tool, and we'll go. Oh, is this going to work? Or is too many people using it right now? Let's put Solanke on the left and Morris on the right. And you'll be able to see in this, what do we call these diagrams, these guys? Web? We don't call them spider diagrams anymore, do we? Actually, it's not even a spider diagram anyway. Web, whatever, net. You can see that this. I always say that this is the best way of using these. See whose blob is the biggest. Who's got the biggest blob? Got to be very careful when I say something like that. Who's got the biggest blob? Solanke's got the big. He's a big blob guy. Big, nice, big blob on him. Lovely stuff. Morris's blob is nice, lovely blob. Don't get me wrong, but Solanke's blob is much blobbier. Much blobbier. So, yeah, we like the look of Solanke's fixtures. So Solanke has the better fixtures. Solanke has 2 home games. Plays against 2 of the weakest teams in the whole league. He's playing 2 relegation threatened teams. I would say Morris's fixtures are really against 2 mid-table teams. They're both away from home. But Solanke has got a lovely big blob. Lovely big blob. Morris has got a nice blob, but Solanke is, that is a lovely blob. So, Therefore, I would favour Solanke because everything points his directions. Underlying numbers, fixtures, home versus away, the quality of the team around him. And I'd say the only thing that Morris has in his favour is that he's got more points, more FPL points over the last couple of weeks. And it is only over the last couple of weeks, remember. Over the season, Solanke has been, the better pick. If we look like total points this season for forwards, Solanke's just like the third highest scoring forward in the game. There you go. Third highest scoring forward in the game over the course of this season. He is, the more solid, the more reliable FPL asset, generally speaking. Bigger blob, better fixtures. I do believe that Solanke is the superior captain. That's not to say that Morris is a bad captain or a bad pick. Both can be true. They can both be good. It's not a, what's it called? A something sum. No sum. Can't remember what it's called. Can't remember many. I don't know any of these technical words, guys. I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd, guys. Radial graph. Are we calling it a radial graph these days? When I was a kid, it was a web diagram or web graph. But maybe that's a regional thing. Not sure. Zero sum is the phrase I'm looking for, though, I think. Yeah. It's not a zero sum thing. Solanke and Morris can both be good. But yes, go with the bigger blob. That's what I always say. He who has the bigger blob, I'm ready to receive the points from the biggest blob. There we go. Dan Cross, morning, mate. Hope you're good. Jandre here as well. Lucas says that you drinking tea, Dan. Where's the squash? I am drinking tea, but I am also... I do have a squash. My squash is almost gone. So we're on both. We're doubling up. Double game week, double drinks. Hey? It works. It works. Jandre, 24 months. You got the 24-month member badge. I still need to do a 36-month member badge. There's very few 36-month members, but there are some. Dan Cross, you're here, aren't you? Are you a 36-month member now? You must be by this point. James reckons radar chart. Hey, radar chart. If it works for you, it works for me. I'm going to start calling it the blobby diagram. Although, it's not really a blob. It's a bit too spiky to be a blob. But it is a blob, isn't it? It's a spiky blob. Seems like everyone's got a different name for it, which is absolutely fine. All right, guys, we probably should stay on topic, guys, considering we are... 30 minutes out from deadline, and we're talking about blobs. Who's got the biggest blob? Seth says, "Hey Dan, I'm WD. What's WD? You mean WC? Wildcard? I'm wildcard currently. I'm having Petrovic and Kaminsky, or should I get Neto and someone else? I'm lost. Please, help, please. Yeah, I mean Kaminsky. I've gone off the Kaminsky route a little bit. But Petrovic is a nice long-term goalkeeper to have. If you are planning on free hitting in 34, then Petrovic is quite nice because he probably won't double in 34, but he'll double in 2 game weeks after that. So Petrovic is a really nice long-term hold. Kaminsky is not a goalkeeper you really want beyond the next 2 game weeks. I mean, arguably, he's not even good for the next 2 game weeks because despite having a double game week and a fixture next game week, he plays for Luton and he is going to concede goals. So, Neto is, I think, the way I would go. Neto and Petrovic, that doesn't really work because you need a goalkeeper for next week. It'd be Neto and Areola, really, wouldn't it? I don't know. Honestly, Cesc, I'm not sure. I think there's benefits to both. I don't think you have to go either direction, but think about kind of what you want in the future. Think about what are you free hitting in 34? If you are free hitting in 34, then Petrovic and Kaminsky is a little bit more appealing. If you are not, then Neto is probably going to be a bit more appealing. So, yeah, I wish there was a straightforward answer. I don't really think there is. Dan Cross, member for 40 months. There you go. Crikey, Rykerson. That is quite the number of months. Well, it's pretty much the whole duration of this FPL channel. Jandre says, to the next 2 years, bench Luis Diaz or Foden. Probably should do a bench list. Yeah, we'll do a bench list in one moment. Let's just get through these super chats and we'll throw up the bench list. Here we go. So Edley says, can you check goalkeeper predicted points next 3 game weeks? Not free hitting game. I'm not sure what that means, but we can do the next 3 game weeks goalkeeper predicted points. What am I doing? So predicted points, goalkeepers. Let's go any price. So next 3 game weeks, so 29 to 30, puts Kaminsky on top, Neto second. Heavily weighted towards those with the double game weeks though. But you can see that excluding game week 29, Neto is like the far preferred goalkeeper. He really is. Actually, like, looks better than a lot of goalkeepers. Has some of the best predicted points here, really. Particularly if he gets a double in 34, then it's going to look fantastic for him. You know, Everton, Crystal Palace after the break. It's quite nice. So I think like Neto is the standout goalkeeper right now, and understandably so. Hopefully that helps Edley. Matt says remove Trips, Nori, Concert, or Kabore for Zabani. Possibly Trippier. It depends on your chip strategy, of course, but Trippier is probably the weak link out of those players. If you're free hitting in 34, then Trippier can go straight away. Sell Trippier. If you're free hitting in 34, sell Trippier. I think that's pretty straightforward. Veer says, Dan, Adebayo, KDB and Turner / Dubravka to Solanke, Gordon and Neto for a -4. Also, love your work. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Veer, I like it. I think I like it, Veer. I would do that. Yeah. Particularly, I mean, are you planning on free hit next game week? If you are planning on free hit next game week, then I guess there's might be slightly less appeal on selling KDB. But hey, it works. Yeah, if you're free hitting 29 Vera, I think I would strongly consider doing that move. Lifestyle Tube says, I'm already day on a -4 due to injuries. I have 3 double game week players. Should I do a -8 to bring Barkley or Morris? I'm free hit next week. No. If you're free hitting next game week, then I wouldn't be going for Luton Town players this week. The upside is there a little bit because of the double game week, but it's not really too significant. We've got to put this into context. Like, you're going to see a lot of content creators, people hyping up these Luton Town players, but many of them are not free hitting in game week 29, so they're bringing in their Luton Town players, not just for this game week, but for next game week as well. So if you're free hitting next game week, Luton Town players, one might be okay if you could do it easily, but, you know, to be taking lots of hits to get these players in, I just can't see it being worth it. I really can't. You know, particularly a Barkley who has got a low upside player anyway. Propinor says, hey Dan, I'm going for Solanke free transfer. I have Haaland, Watkins, Darwin. Who should I transfer out? I'm free hitting in 29. I would probably look to transfer out Darwin. I think. I would probably transfer out Darwin. And that's a shame because he's probably a player you might want to have back in the near future. But since you're free hitting 29, Solanke has a chance of a 34 double game week as well. Darwin does not. Well, does he? He does technically, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, I would do Darwin to Solanke. I think that's the most obvious one of the 3. Sid Fisher says for only this game week, Son and Kirkes or Tavernier and Gabriel. Son and Kirkes for this game week only. Son and Kirkes. Which take us to Peter Parker says friendly neighborhood Spider-Man swinging through. Good to see you, Peter Parker. Hope you bless us with your webs this game week. Right, with that said, it's time for a bench list. The people have spoken. And, yeah, we need to do it. 25 minutes left. Got to be done. Right, bench list. There we are. Right, guys. Should we get some names on the board? Who are we putting on the bench list today? Please do let me know in the chat who you would like to see on the bench list. And we'll throw them on there. What players can I think of immediately to put on there? Like, maybe Foden. People talking about Foden a lot, aren't they? We'll put I'm going to put like Neto, Kaminsky, Areola, Dubravka in that order. And maybe Kelleher there. Those kind of most popular goalkeepers. Right. Lots of names coming in the chat. Let's get this going. Right. Garnacho. I'd rather play Foden than Garnacho. Martinelli, I would rather play... I think, you know what? I think I'd rather... Foden and Martinelli's type. I'm going to put Martinelli below Foden. Saliba, you back pretty much against anyone at the moment. Douglas Luiz can drop in here. Oh my word, so many names. Palmer, go here. I think. Would you go higher with Palmer? Actually, I'm going to put Palmer here. Above Martinelli. Or am I? No, I'm not. Because Martinelli's numbers are better at the moment. Pedro Porro would go at the bottom of this so far. Pedro Neto. A lot of people have Pedro Neto. Neto is in a way... Oh, it's home against Fulham, isn't it? So Neto can go... Next to Douglas Luiz. Super chat from Jandre says, worth selling the likes of Haaland or Foden to avoid free hit 29. Might buy them back at a premium later. Might be priced out and then have to sacrifice the team then. I don't think it's worth selling Foden because I'm not really sure who you would buy other than Barkley. And I don't think Foden to Barkley is worth it. Yeah, but Haaland to Morris, a lot of people doing that move if they're trying to avoid a free hit in 29. But I wouldn't do it if you'd be priced out later. Bailey, okay. Bailey I like. I play Bailey. Yeah, we're good with where we are. Barkley, probably play him, don't you? But, I mean, honestly, I would put Barkley like there. I prefer some of the single game week players to him. Tony's a tough one. It's a really tough fixture. He does like a game against Arsenal, but at the same time, Arsenal are just impenetrable at the moment. So you probably would put Tony like here. Pray you get a penalty. KDB. I would put KDB maybe in the Barkley region, which is saying something. Something like that. Tavernier would go next to Barkley, I think. At least he's got some set pieces. Bowen I like. Bowen can go... Should we put Bowen second, actually? I am going to put Bowen below Foden, though. Form over fixture. Right. Estupinian. Ideally, you don't play Estupinian. Although I don't know. I feel like I prefer Estupinian to Pedro Porro this game week. Don't know why. Edward says, you put my two benching headaches next to each other. Yeah, apologies. Flip a coin. Flip a coin. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Haaland, you start. If you have Haaland, you start him above all of these. You don't even think about benching him, I don't think. He's Haaland, man. Come on. Come on. Doggy can go next to Pedro Porro. Although, I think because Pedro Porro is not 100% guaranteed minutes, he's likely to start. But there's a small chance he gets benched. So I think I put Doggy a little bit higher. Rafa says Muniz to do his usual thing again. Hey, Rafa, I guess we'll see, my friend. I guess we'll see. Yeah. Game against the Wolves. Could happen. Could happen. Right, Gordon. Gordon, I don't mind against Chelsea. I think he drops below some of these double game week players. Fizzo says play Palmer or Foden this game week. Well, they're both on the bench list, and I've put Foden higher than Palmer. Ideally, you play both. But I think I back Foden given the form he's been in. Saliba's already on there. People asking for Pascal Gross. Pascal Gross can go maybe above Tony. Would I put him above Bailey as well? I think I would. Or I might even put maybe someone like here or Pascal Gross. Issa Kabore, genuinely, despite the double game week, he would not be that high. You know, double game week for Luton Town just means double the opportunity to concede goals and get minus points for conceding goals. Right, Gusto. Gusto's not going super high. I expect Chelsea to concede versus Newcastle. About there would probably be right. I think it's better than a Spurs defender, but still no. Captain poll. You want a captain poll as well? Yeah, we'll get a captain poll going in a few minutes. Region against Arsenal would go straight to the bottom. People asking about Saka, like, really? Saka's like, he's flagged, isn't he? And people panic because of the Dorito of death. No, yeah, Saka, you 100% play. He is like, yeah, don't even think about benching Saka. Oh dear. Salah, yeah, I'm not going to put Salah on there. You know, some of these players, like, you have them, you play them. Why own them if you're not going to play them? Bowen has former fixture over Foden and a game next week. Yeah, but we're just talking about this game week, aren't we? You can, if you're talking about transfers, you can just make the transfer next week. And does Bowen have form as well? He doesn't have form over Foden. Like, no way. He had one good game in game week. What was it? 26, and then got an assist in game week 27. But you know, Foden's just, his numbers are just consistently insane. Jack Rutherford says Ødegaard and Son. Please, Dan, really? I mean, Son, Ødegaard, I understand, and maybe a small debate there, but Son, come on, gotta be played. Son goes up with the likes of Saka and Haaland. Son arguably even goes above Haaland. And Ødegaard, I mean, there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players who should not be on this bench list that you just should play. But we're putting them on anyway. Ødegaard is not going to go as high as some of these guys. I'm going to drop him down next to Martinelli, I think. Maybe even like next to Palmer. Yeah, I'm actually going to drop Ødegaard down here. Yes. Maddison seems to be a popular one here. So we'll put him in. Where should I put him? Maddison can go. I don't know. He's got a chance of getting attacking returns. I don't. Yeah. Here, maybe? I think a lot of these other players I would potentially bench. Batman says, why aren't you wildcarding? I don't need to. I've sorted my team. I fixed it. I fixed the issue. A few people asking for Ait-Nouri. Let's throw him in somewhere. I mean, I'd maybe back him ahead of Gusto, although Gusto has the attacking threat. But so does Ait-Nouri, I guess. I'm going to put Ait-Nouri here. Pau Torres and Konsa. I'm going to put them as a pair, as I always do. They would not be very high, though. I think Spurs will score, so I'm going to put them together there. Bradley, Connor Bradley. No. We're not looking to play him. Probably here. Do you think Salah starts? I do. I do think Salah starts. Will he perform better than KDB? I would say so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Maddison's on there. Let's see. Is there any other player that a lot of you guys are saying? Trippier's injured, so he's not even going on there. Like wherever you put him on in your starting 11 or in your bench, he's not playing either way. Watkins. Are we really thinking about benching Watkins? He should be very, very high on your list here. The form he's been in. Maybe these players here, they shouldn't even be in the debate. You play them. You every one of these players, you 100% play. There's no reason to not play these players. No reason. No player that you bench, that you would play instead of them, I guess. A few people have Van Dijk, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't think Van Dijk would be very high for me this week. His attacking threat is there, I guess, a bit. But I think he goes down here. Let's do a captain poll. Jandrick says bench 1, Luis Diaz or Foden. I'd bench Luis Diaz. Solanke, you guys are kidding me. Talking about benching Solanke. You guys have lost the plot. Right, who is the best Gameweek 28 captain? The options are Solanke, Morris, or other. Yes, we really are categorising everyone else together because I think it's a 2-horse race. In fact, I don't even think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's a 1-horse race. I think there's 1 horse in this captaincy poll. And yeah, that's as far as we go. Those of you guys asking for leagues, I mean, it's only, we'd only really be looking at the... we'd be looking at the Man United versus Everton game as like the easiest one to get team news from, and we're not. I think a lot of the important games are coming later. What I can tell you is that Solanke has trained, which is good. So let's see what happens there. I mean, Solanke is dominating this poll. Absolutely dominating this poll. Walker on the bench list. Again, really, really low. Maybe even lower than the Liverpool defenders. In fact, maybe even lower than Reguilon. Right at the bottom. Why is the doggy so low? Well, he's not really that low. Looking at the defenders, he's only lower than Saliba, Aït-Nouri, and Gusto. He's only lower. He's the 4th highest defender. He's actually above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's actually quite high in terms of defenders. I think people often look at these bench lists and they look at a defender and they say, why is my defender so low? It's because all of the players above them are attackers. And, you know, this season more than ever, we understand that attackers are far more priorities to play over defenders. So a doggy is not really that low. Although I'm not expecting points from a doggy, I still think he'll score like probably a 1-pointer this week. But he's not that low compared to the other defenders. It's only really the attackers that are higher than him. Tommy with a super chat says, a hit to bring in Neto for Flecken or start Areola. I would think about just starting Areola, to be honest. It depends. If you're free hitting next week, then I would think about doing it. But if you're not free hitting next week, then stick with Flecken. I mean, he plays next game week and has a good fixture. Basmi says, bench 1, Haaland, Foden or Kluivert. You bench Kluivert. But then why have you brought him in? Yeah, you don't bench Haaland or Foden for Kluivert, even if Kluivert does have a double game week. Like, these are just far superior players. They're more than twice as good. Far more than twice as good in terms of FPL kind of returns. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense. All right, I think we've got all of the main players. All of the main players here today. I don't think there's any other players that we need to throw on there. Avnoba says, replace KDB or Foden for Son /Bowen. If you are not free hitting next game week, then I would consider KDB to Son. So KDB to Son, I would strongly consider that move, only if you are not free hitting in 29. If you are free hitting in 29, I think that it becomes a bit more of a debate, a bit more of a discussion. So we've answered that. For a -4, no. Like someone just asked, should I do? I'm free hitting in 29. Should I take a -4 to do KDB to Son? No, I don't think so. Not for a hit, because you're going to sell KDB or probably KDB or Son. If you still have them, come game week 30. You're going to sell them for Salah anyway, probably. I know it's not going to apply to everyone, but we've got to be general here because I'm trying to give advice to so many people all at once. But yeah, if you are selling KDB for Son this week for a -4 for the sake of one game week because you're free hitting in 29, then you're going to move that player on anyway in 30 for Salah. Does it seem worth it? Probably not. Probably not. Conser is already on there. Newcastle defenders, don't even think about it. Ake, you can just make an assumption based on Walker. I had hoped, but apparently not. So I guess we put him on there. Charlie Taylor. No. Darwin. Do we need to talk about Darwin? How is Tony against Arsenal so high up? He's not. He's really not. Again, compared to all of the attackers, Tony is one of the lowest ones. Darwin, I would put... I don't know. Like I said, I do expect goals in this game, but he would go like there. Will Kabore start? I think so. Osho. Is Osho injured, or have I made that up? Or no, he's fit now, isn't he? Osho's now fit. Zabani. No. Why do we need to put Zabani on here? You obviously play him. Like, come on. Some of these players, they do not belong on the bench list at all. They're just so obvious players to play. Sid Fisher says on wildcard, Udogie or Porro. Udogie because he's cheaper. Region or Taylor. I don't really know. Region. Louise or Bailey. I prefer Bailey, I think, at the moment. Chris says, when will you wildcard? Game week 35 or 36, probably. One of them. Giandre says, Watkins to Morris for a -4, free hit 29. Don't think I'd do it. I think Watkins will do well this week against Spurs. Villa at home, man. Villa at home. It's a big play. Oh, Show Team Gang has arrived. Salim, member of the Show Team Gang. Good to see you. Paul says, Dubravka to Neto for a -4 worth it, or play Areola. You can just play Areola. I don't know if it's worth a -4 if you've got Areola as well. I mean, I would consider it. I would certainly consider it. Even for a -4. I don't think it's a must. I don't think it's a must-do move. Because Burnley are pretty poor in attack. Karthik says, Moreno/Virgil, who to bench? I would probably bench Van Dijk, because Moreno, attacking threat against a Spurs team that will concede chances away from home. I like it. I like it. Hey, Show Team Gang emojis coming in the chat. Love it. Love it. Saka is on there already. Saka's right at the top. Saka is right at the top of this bench list. You 100% starting. I'm going to double check my team is looking good. I'll leave the bench list on the screen for you guys so you can just refer to it. Right, pick team. I think I'm ready to go. The only thing I might do, I don't know who the vice captain. But for vice captain, I'm between Saka and Watkins. I can't decide which one. Gonna be one of them. I really do fancy Watkins this game week. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because he's amazing. And he does so well every week. That game is on Sunday, right? Yeah, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock? Weird time for a Sunday game. Oh, Alex, another member of the show team gang. Luke's is Timo Werner. No, I don't think I'll play him. I'm not putting him on bench list, though. He's too differential. CMC Wookie says Doughty and Zabani are in for a -4. Worth Neto for a -8. Take each hit in isolation. That's what I'd say. Each hit, think of it as an individual hit. Unless you're having to redistribute budget, each hit should be treated individually. But it doesn't sound like that's what you're doing. You're talking about an additional -4. So it depends who you're selling. If you've got an Areola, I don't think you need Neto. 3:45 is weird for Liverpool Man City too. Yeah, I saw this. I saw this earlier. I was like, that's strange. Strange game times tomorrow. Footy Fen says show team. I want to copy it. Yeah, such is the plight of the show team gang. This is how things work. Christar says, is this a bold move? Triple captain Lord Solanke. I don't think it's that bold. I think a lot of people who still have their triple captainship will be looking to triple captain Solanke this week. I think he will be the second most popular triple captain this season after Haaland 25. Francisco says, use this -4 already. Morris to Haaland for another hit. If you are not free hitting next game week, yes. If you are free hitting next game week, no. That's what I'll say. If you've still got your wild card, that also is a good reason to, maybe sell Haaland and bring it back on a wild card, redistribute the funds. Aaron says, do you ever play draft? Strategy is so different. No, a little bit. I play it a little bit. I don't focus on it though. I'm not like try-harding on draft. But yeah, I play for a bit of fun. Sultan says, on a wild card, which two goalkeepers should I get? Neto and Areola seems like a sensible choice for a lot of people at the moment. But also, Kaminsky and Kelleher is a combo that can work. Not as keen on that one, I don't think. Woody says, show us how you tie your laces because we can't make a simple decision. I can't. I'm not wearing shoes right now. No shoes in the house. Come on. Masuda says, Dan, do you think Sarabia could be a good differential this week? I mean, if you already have him, then you maybe play him. I would actually potentially look to bench him, depending on what other players you have. Certainly would not be buying him, no. Certainly would not be buying him. Not going to happen. Let's just see if there's any final team leaks, but I don't think there is. As always, we have got people who are giving fake team news in the chat, which we will assign permanent channel mutes to. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to fake team news in the chat. Zero tolerance. Gone. Whoa, the show team gang is getting a bit angsty. All right. Let's get the team on screen. I literally already showed it in the stream. I literally told you exactly what I was going to do in a video on Thursday. However, apparently that is not enough for the show team gang, who only turn up for the last few minutes of the stream to get their information. But regardless, this is the team. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oliver, you are welcome. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at. I genuinely think my team looks decent. At this point. Yeah, it's not perfect. It would be nice to have Son instead of KDB. It'd be nice to have a third defender that wasn't a Stupinian. But overall, the deadline's passed. So there we have it. Guys. we made it past another deadline stream. This is going to be a super interesting game week. Super interesting. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. The biggest game this weekend is not Man City versus Liverpool. It is Sheffield United versus the mighty Bournemouth. The mighty Bournemouth. Going to end the poll, guys. As expected, Solanke absolutely dominated that one. Absolutely dominated that. Solanke 89%, Morris 6%, other 4%. Very simple decision for most of you guys to captain Solanke this week. Very simple decision. Matthew says, would you bring back the elaborate tricks for the show team gang? Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think I was doing it too much and it kind of started to get a bit old. And a lot of people were I was getting some very angry and sometimes often abusive messages about the show team tricks and pranks. So they were fun, but, you know, got to pretend to be professional. Got to be mature and professional. God, can't be bothered with that, man. Just want to play FPL and make my videos. But oh well. So yeah, we don't really do tricks anymore. But never say never. Never say never. Might bring it back at some point or another. Maybe we'll do it for the free hit team next game week. Nah, that's too harsh, right? Too harsh. But yeah, my free hit is getting activated probably today. Cannot wait. Dan says, Dan, do you shave the middle of your mustache? No, it's just the way it grows. Liam says, my God, that must... People do not appreciate the mustache, do they? It needs to go. It needs to go, doesn't it? Maybe it goes. I think I need to shave it off before I go on holiday next week. John Catuso says, nah, mate, do what you want. I drop C-bombs on stream constantly. Australia tax light. That was not a very good Australian accent. Apologies. Oh, bloody oath, mate. Kloppenheimer says, do you think Man United win? I want to laugh today. I think they probably do, yeah. Samuel says, the best was when you pretended to miss the deadline. I think the best show team gang prank I ever did was where I, prior to the stream, I basically made an image of my FPL team, but I really severely edited it so it looked like the screen was completely corrupted and you couldn't read any of it. I'll have to find the image or something, but yeah. In fact, would it even be on this computer? Let's do a search. Prank show team. Aha! I found it. Let's throw this on screen for a sec. So let's go. So here it is. So this is what I put on screen. Obviously, it was formatted a little bit better. My head was still in the corner and stuff. But this is what I put on screen, where you basically just couldn't see at all. And I was just chatting through it normally, as if everything was normal. And I was talking through the players and stuff like that. Yeah, people did not like that one. I think the one that the show team gang prank that annoyed people the most was when I pretended that I'd missed the deadline. And I don't know why, because why would other people be annoyed at me for me missing the deadline? Like, fair enough, if you've missed the deadline yourself, then, you should be annoyed. But if someone else misses the deadline, why would you be annoyed at me for pretending to miss the deadline? I don't really understand why people are upset. Maybe it was the fact that it was like, aha, I've done my transfers, I did them yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it was that part. I don't know. But, yeah, people were so annoyed that I pretended to miss the deadline. That was when I think the abuse was the worst. like the insults and like the name calling and stuff really came out. You know, wild stuff. John says, Dan, you might want to get your injured Hwang looked at. Yeah, I definitely do need to get my injured Hwang looked at. Yeah, that'll be for another week, I think. I remember the McTominay one. Oh, yeah. I said I was going to captain McTominay because he just scored 2 in the international break. I think, ironically, didn't he get an FPL return in that game week anyway? There's been a few good ones in the past. But I'm trying to chill it out a little bit. Make it a rare treat rather than everything. So Bill says, Corrupt Screen was legendary. The chat went nuts. Good. John says, you look like Hercule Pyro. You should definitely shave before your vacate. I think so. Just for the photos, I think. People always feel entitled. True. Phone team gang. Oh. The phone is here. I can't believe it's still got air in it. I've never had to blow this up. I've had this for like a year now. Probably need some more air. Should blow it up some more. The antenna's getting a little bit wibbly wobbly. Might be doing too much of that. That's not great. Lucas says, got to go, guys. Wish you a great day. And only green arrows, apart from the show team gang. You guys can burn in hell. Wow. AJ did it for Nigerian last night. Ngannou was sent from Cameroon to the moon with that pun. It's so true. Zuvi says, during the stream, I'm a fan, and come deadline, I turn into show team gang for the memes. Fair enough. Gotta rep the show team gang. Free hit team. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do free hit team today. I'll probably drop my first free hit draft tomorrow in a video. Probably do it tomorrow. John Gattuso, nice to see you. See you later. Rafi says, Dan, why don't you wear a Nigerian jersey anymore? I wore it in a podcast that I recorded with some guys. The Roberto Hollis's podcast. Form is temporary. I'd retweeted it. You can go find it on my Twitter if you want to. But yeah, I wore it for that. So it's in the wash. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's in the wash. So I did wear it 2 days ago. But just not on one of my videos. Scott says your wife could do better. Will be, oh my word, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because when I did the prank where some of you guys will remember this, when I did the prank where I pretended to forget the deadline and I hadn't done my team, and I was like panicking that I hadn't, obviously doing that prank. When I revealed that actually I'd already made my transfers, I was just pretending to have forgotten the deadline as a bit of a fun little game. Someone said in the chat, your wife deserves better. That is like, I think that just encapsulates like a certain type of FPL manager, like the level of entitlement, like the level of seriousness you take in a game where you genuinely think that like your partner, your significant other, their opinion of you is tied to how seriously you take FPL. I don't really know even how to describe it. It's just absolutely nuts. I pretended to forget the deadline, and therefore my wife could do better than me. Because everyone knows women's highest priority when looking for a male partner are always remember the deadline. Guys, remember the deadline every week. Remember the FPL deadline every week. That is a guarantee to find love in this world. You want to get yourself laid, maybe you go for a dry spell. Have you been remembering the deadlines? Because that's what women want. They want people who remember deadlines. And if you miss your deadlines, I'm sorry, but your wife, your significant others, your partner, they deserve better than you. That's just the way it is. Absolutely. Honestly, the brain rot of some people will never cease to amaze me. It really will. But that's the show team, gang. I think, to be fair, over the last year, We've probably filtered out a lot of the show team gang. We get nowhere near as much as before. I mean, part of that is because I'm not having a very good season, of course. But yeah, I think the show team gang have slowly died out, and now we're just left with you lovely guys, which I'm very happy with. We've got like numbers. It's not about quantity of viewers. It's about quality. And you guys are quality. Definitely. Carry on pranking, Brew. Haters gonna hate. South African here. Also, that was a decent Aussie accent earlier. Thank you, but you wait until you hear my South African accent, mate. I tell you what, it's not too bad. It's not great because I've never been, and I don't know too many South African people, but I think it's not too bad. Prank over. This is my real team. I love how people are always guessing though if it's my real team or not. It's not as fun when you're having a bad season like this though. When I'm having a great season, then that is when the show team pranks are at their peak. Because nobody cares how my team's doing at the moment, to be honest. Let's be real. Nobody cares. No one wants to copy my team at the moment. What's Mrs. FPL Mate's team? I don't know. I think it's actually pretty good, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I think, yeah, because she's got Solanke, she's got Morris. I think she bought... Did she buy Doughty as well, I think? I think she's got a pretty strong team. You should have come to Cape Town for your holiday. Too far, man. I'm only going to Norway. What's my rank? It's like 200 and something K now. I've had some, I mean, to be honest, I think I've had some bad luck with injuries recently. Particularly every one of my differentials. It's not that they've failed, it's that they've got injured, which is so tough. Because I think so many of my differentials have been picking. I am a differential player. When they get injured every week and the template players don't get injured, like you are fighting against the tide so hard. Like I've had it time and time again where a differential player's got injured. Yeah, it's rough, man. Like we had it with Isaac, João Pedro, not Tavernier, Brendan Johnson. We had Nori, Trippier, Senesi last week. I'm talking, and this has all happened within the last month. All of these differentials I picked out since in the last couple of months have all got injured. Like very soon after me buying them, it's been really tough. But that's part of it. That's part of FPL. It's not often that every differential turns injured and every template player stays fit. And on another season, I might have done very well. So I don't hate the decision-making process for a lot of the players that I've picked. I know it sounds like a cop-out to say you've been unlucky, but I think when it comes to injuries, Hwang Hee-chan as well, yeah, absolutely. Yep, he was injured for me. Jota was injured when I bought him in. Darwin was injured when I bought him in. So, yeah, like I've just listed, what's that, like 10, 11, 12 players in the past 2 months who've been injured for me? Like, that's crazy. That's so many players. And the reason why I still have injured players on my bench right now is because I'm getting so many injuries that I can't stay on top of it. It's impossible. I'm taking hits and I still can't keep on top of the injuries. It's ruthless. It really is. Name Antita says you weren't doing the best last season either, though, so I don't think that's why there isn't as many. Yeah, at the start of the season, maybe not, but I finished 30k last season. Like, I went from like 2 million to 30k in the second half of last season. So the second half of last season was crazy. Jay Lee says, do you throw your football tops in the wash with your regular washing, or do you put them all in a separate pile and do one satisfying football top only wash? I've started doing that more recently, yeah. Anyway, the English Afrikaans accent was 11 out of 10. Yeah, that's the only one I know. It's because I have had a few Afrikaans friends growing up. That's the only reason I know anything at all. Where in Norway are you going? I'm going to Tromsø to see the Great Northern Lights. A beard says, what is next? A beard? I can't grow a beard. This is as far as it goes. Can't grow a beard. The mustache is the only thing I can grow, which is the one thing that I think is making me look very, very manly, very masculine, which is something I do struggle with in life generally, appearing masculine. So we're trying what we can do. But I'm glad you guys appreciate the Afrikaans accent. We're good with accents over here. Do I know any Afrikaans words? I can remember a few. I don't know like Afrikaans like language, but I know some like English words like robot. You know, if you're driving along the street, you might be stopped by a robot. And people outside of South Africa, they might say, well, the robot, what do you mean? You've got the robots in the street? No, of course. The robots are, of course, the traffic lights. So went a bit Russian there. So the traffic lights, when you see the red light on the robot, that means you got to stop. When you see the green light on the robot, then you can go. That's the one word I can remember. Like lekker. That's lekker, mate. That's lekker. What other Afrikaans word? Calling everyone brew, not bro, brew. That's all I got for you. Jandro's giving me some avoids. Why? Give me some avoids. No, that's buy. Invest now in FPL Mate's Afrikaans accent. Invest now. Buy. I probably just offended so many South African people just then, but we move. That's an Eastern European accent. No, it is not. Zizbra says, I live in Tromsø. I hope you see the aurora. Oh, well, thank you very much. I really hope so too. It's like a lifelong bucket list thing to see the aurora borealis. So, yeah, fingers crossed. We see it. Linus says, is this Davey FPL? Yeah, good point. Llewellyn. Am I saying Llewellyn? Llewellyn, if it's Welsh. Is saying, very lekker off, or kif my brew, all is 100 my China. My China. Oh, I do like my China. Is that a South African thing, my China? China plate, mate. Jamzan says, grow the mullet. Mate, we are already there. You can't see, because everything behind me is dark, you can't tell. But the mullet is like, oh, wait, I need like a white background so you guys can see. Here we go, this shoebox. So, if I put the shoebox behind my head, you can maybe see, wait, it needs to go further that way. The mullet is like, oh God, it's like growing a little bit. We are getting there. Can you guys see that? I don't know if that is visible or not. But we are on our way. We're on our way. Can you do the helicopter story with the South African accent? No, I don't think so. Check the pounds to South African rands. You will live like a king on holiday here. I don't want to live like a king. I want to see the Northern Lights. Llewellyn. Okay. Got you. My China. Well, I will remember my China. Masu says, bye Dan, you saying liquor has made my weekend. Green arrows for everyone in the chat. Abir says, shave the head. I will not. Joseph says, sound just like Davey FPL. It's look good to see we've got a couple of Davey FPL fins in the chat. Fins in the chat. Oh, you guys have great accents. You really, really do. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, dear. All right, any other nations I can offend? Linus says, it's giving 1980s Ian Rush with the tash and mullet. That's not really the look I was going for, but I mean, we take it. I think the tash probably needs to go, doesn't it? It needs to go. Business in the front, party in the back. Absolutely, Adam. Absolutely. Waleed says, Haaland to Morris, is it a good move? I'm assuming you've already done it because the deadline has passed. But I guess like Yeah, if you're not free hitting in 29, Haaland to Morris is fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. Michael says, what's the difference between your Afrikaans and Russian accent? I don't really have a Russian accent for a start. Can't really do that one. I mean, I'd probably give it a go, but I'd probably embarrass myself. It's one of those ones that I probably have to go away. I have to mute myself and see if I can do it first. Dan, when are you planning to free hit and wildcard? Free hit 29, wildcard 35 or 36. Not 100% sure yet. Sexy Beast says, when I first began FPL, Davey FPL was the guy. He was beginning his YouTube and in top 100. I remember. I watched him back then as well. There's no lights in South Africa. Never mind Northern. Matthew says, why is he doing a Safa accent? Why am I ever doing anything? It's the real question. There's no sense to these. Once it gets past 11, between 11 and the team lineups come out, there is never any sense to anything. Anything can happen. That's the fun of it. It really, really can. Which is why I want to get back on Twitch, really. But I need to sort my internet out. Once my internet is sorted out, which I've been trying to do for the last several years, almost 3 years now, 2.5 years maybe. Once that's sorted, then maybe we'll go back on Twitch. Start streaming some FIFA, Apex. Michael says load shedding is the first South African word. What does that mean? Do you have an American accent too? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But it's a little bit cringe. I find that accent a little bit cringe when a Briton does it. It's a bit cringe, I think. There we go. Anonymous Me says, surprised for not getting Doughty. Thought you'd be the perfect person for such risk. I don't need him because I'm free hitting in 29 anyway. I don't really need him. Janice Sam says, for 3 years I had 5 megabits per second. Megabits per second, sorry. Yeah, I'm not much better than that, to be honest, mate. Dan, Google load shedding in South Africa. I don't know if I want to do that. As a rule, I try not to Google things I don't know what mean on stream. What's your Twitch? It's FPL_mate. 420 Brexit says, Dan, as a community, let's make a non-profit FPL meme crypto token. I mean, 420 Brexit, you crack on, but the day I become a crypto bro, well, that will be a sad day. Well, will it be a sad day? I've not really got problems with other people doing crypto stuff, but it's not for me. I'll put it that way. Load shedding means there's no electricity. Okay. Was it like blackouts? Is it like pre-planned blackouts? Got nothing to do with loads. Okay, good. Do a Kiwi accent, New Zealand accent, Kiwi accent. Can I do it? It's like an Australian accent, but like a bit more, I say this with the utmost respect, annoying. Okay, right, New Zealand accent. Right, I'm going to mute myself for a second to try it first, just so I don't embarrass myself. I don't think I can do it. We do Australian, but yeah, New Zealand is maybe a little bit too niche. But never tell someone from New Zealand that their accent sounds like they're from Australia. I think I can just about tell the difference when I hear the two accents side by side, but yeah, again, New Zealand, not a accent I've had too much exposure to be honest. Dan, what's your prediction on Brentford versus Arsenal? I think Arsenal got a 2-3-0 in them. I think I got 2-3-0 on them. John Sam says, you have 5 megabytes per second and you live in the UK. I live in a village in Balkan. And after 3 years of calling, they installed optical internet, if you call that. So I have 200. That's like actually nuts. I do live in like the rural UK, but I seem to be in a specific area of my village that is being completely neglected for internet. Like, people 3 doors down from me have fiber wiring, but like they just are refusing to do the end of the road where I live for some reason. I don't understand why. I've been trying to find out for years. I've been sending angry emails, phone calls, leaving reviews. Can't do it. Can't do it. Ash says, do you always wear Nigerian shirts? Do you have connection to Nigeria? Yes, my grandfather was Nigerian. So I'm 1/4 Nigerian, I guess. So that's why. Irish guy in New Zealand. The vowels are different to Oz. Remember checking out the New Zealand decad. All right, help me out here then. I'm Aussie. All you need to do is say fish and chips like fush and chups to hit a New Zealand accent, but keeping that Aussie twang going. Okay. It's a bizarre accent. I say it's a bizarre accent. It's probably very normal if you live over there, and they probably think my accent is utterly bizarre. But such is the life. I think variety is the spice of life. So I think everyone's accent is great. No matter where you're from in the world, your accent is beautiful and brilliant. Unless you're from Birmingham, you have a terrible accent. It's just so unique. Why are you not black then? Well, I mean, I'm going to drop a little bit of an education bomb on you, my friend. You see, what we have in this world is something called mixed race people. I know. Crazy concept. Also known as, you might have heard the terms interracial. If you are using very outdated American terms, you might be familiar with the term mulatto. But we don't say that anymore. That is very, very rude. But mixed race, usually, I think, covers it. Non-offensive. We accept that term. And what happens is when a few different races maybe mix, you get up. You get someone, I don't know, with maybe a slightly brown complexion, but not necessarily black. So, yes, despite the one-drop rule of the 1800s, when someone has a little bit of black in them, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be full black. Sometimes you're just a little bit brown, and that's what I am, just a little bit brown, and that's fine by me. Hopefully it's good with you as well. Right. Glaswegian accents are fantastic, yeah, for sure. They are for sure. Luis Bonilla says, mate, ranked 267th in your mini league. Wow. Nice one, man. He said, fire Mexico shirt. Are you Mexican, Louis? You rep in Mexico? Congratulations on your rank. So very, very nice. Very, very envious. Would be nice to have that rank. Mohammed, FPL is not down. It's just like updating because the deadline passed at 11 and it usually needs to update for 45 minutes. Something like that. Joe says, is this your final team? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alex says, just joined and we're getting taught life lessons. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Anything goes. Between deadline and lineups, anything goes. Mexican American and brown, nice. Well addressed on the mixed race. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of making a joke, but yeah, no. Mixed race people, they're forgotten. They're forgotten and growing race. We're growing. We are. We're a growing demographic, and we will conquer the world soon. Ah, yes. The melting pot of planet Earth. Yes, indeed. Ash says, are you full-time in FPL, meaning this is a side hustle? No, this is the full-time job and has been for... Is it almost 3 years? It's been a long time. We must be coming up 3 years. P-Max says, silly question, but why do you put your injured players first on your bench? Just in case managers are lying, pretty much. Neil says, do you have a pet? Yes, I have a cat. His name is Milton, and he is my best friend. He truly, truly is. Right, we got lineups. Let's have a look at them. So, let's go on... we'll go on Premier League. Oh no, official FPL. Now retweet these immediately. Retweet the lineups, FPL. I want to see them. And I can't be bothered to go on the individual Twitter pages. Or can I? Shall I? Will I? I think I will. Looks like I'm going. Right, Manchester United. Actually, yeah, let's do Man United first. I guess it's Rashford's central striker. Garnacho and... What the hell, boy? Oh, here it is. That worried me for a second. I was like, sorry, what? It is Man United first game, isn't it? Have I lost the plot? Huh. Alright, well, I guess we'll have a look at Everton. Right. Pickford, Mikolenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Godfrey, Onana, Garner, Decore, McNeil, Harrison, Beto. Back to normal. Beto seems to be getting the nod over Calvert-Lewin at the moment, doesn't he? Which is interesting. I was wondering when Beto was going to start getting a decent run of games, to be fair. Right, let's try Man United again. Oh, my word. Let's go here. Why are they not putting their lineup on their Twitter page? What's going on? Brazilian people is the way most people will be in the future as races mix. Absolutely, absolutely. And every time I see a sci-fi film, every time I watch a sci-fi film based in the future, I always think there should be more mixed race people in this, because that is the trajectory. It should be, 100 years time, 40%, maybe 40% of people, I would say, in 100 years time, maybe more. Maybe more. More mixing. All right, come on, Man United. You're slacking here a little bit, lads. You are slacking. Someone call the social media manager. I think he might be hungover. Is he hungover? He's missed his cue. Have they released it anywhere else? Man United? Do you guys know? Who would have posted it? Why is your ticker so slow? Oh, people are never happy with the pace of the ticker. This is actually the pace that we actually had the chat before about trying to get the ticker to the exact right pace, and this is the pace we landed on. So this is the pace that makes the most people happy. Right, okay. This is getting ridiculous. Sofa score. Alright, fine. Alright. This does not seem right. Oh, it's Team of the Week, that's why. Continue in browser, please. Lineups, please. So is this confirmed? It looks right, but is it confirmed? Onana, Dalot, Varane, Evans, Lindelof, Mainu, Casemiro, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho. I mean, McTominay's obviously not playing right wing. It'll be Bruno right wing, won't it? It's the same lineup. This lineup's correct, I think. Yeah, I think this lineup's correct. The Man United one. I'm guessing. All right. Okay. We'll go with that one then. Right. Cool. Right. We can wrap up the stream then in that case. I think me and Mrs. FPL Mate are gonna take a trip out into town and go for coffee. I don't think I'm gonna watch this first game, to be honest. I might give this one a miss. I don't have any FPL players. I'm not super interested in this game in football terms, in Premier League terms, in FPL terms, or anything. So I might give this game a miss, to be honest. Just catch the highlights later. But I'm very much looking forward to Bournemouth versus Sheffield United. I'm sure you guys are as well. It's going to be huge. So cool. Let's leave things there. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on stream today, this morning. Good luck this game week. I hope you do really well. As long as you don't do better than me, I wish you all of the success. Less success than me, but still a lot of success. If you don't mind leaving a like before you go, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't done already. We're still pushing for 200,000, but I don't think it's going to happen this season now, to be honest. But we'll try. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to show you my first draft for my Gameweek 29 free hit. I'm excited. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.